Maurice Cheeks is almost 70 now, and his horrifying past is finally coming to light. The domestic violence allegation from 2013 really opened people's eyes to just how serious things were. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. He's been let go from coaching jobs more than once, which makes you think there's clearly a pattern here. Let's be honest, if someone keeps ending up in trouble, maybe the problem isn't the world around them, maybe it's them. Here's the thing. While Maurice Cheeks might be remembered by some for his playing days, there's a much darker side to his story that many didn't see coming. Back when he was coaching the Detroit Pistons, Cheeks found himself at the center of a serious domestic dispute investigation. A woman came forward claiming that during a heated argument, Cheeks threatened her, pulled her hair, and called her an offensive name. Police did get involved and questioned him, but no charges were filed because the woman later chose not to cooperate. Even though it never made it to court, the whole situation left a mark. It embarrassed Cheeks publicly and made people start to question who he really was behind the scenes. But that wasn't the only trouble following him around. Cheeks' coaching career, while it had its moments, was full of bumps in the road. He didn't just lose one coaching job, he was fired from 3 separate head coaching gigs. First came the Portland Trail Blazers in 2005, then the Philadelphia 76ers in 2008, and finally the Detroit Pistons in 2014. And these firings weren't out of nowhere. In most cases, it was about teams falling short of expectations. The front offices expected progress, something to show that the team was moving forward. But under Cheeks, it often felt like things were stuck or even slipping backward. Even some of the players he coached started to voice their frustrations. Take Allen Iverson, for example. During his time with the Sixers, Iverson didn't hold back. He said he believed he might not have been traded if Cheeks had handled things better. According to Iverson, Cheeks didn't listen to his concerns, specifically about Andre Iguodala being used as a point guard. Iverson felt ignored, like his input as the team's leader didn't matter, and that lack of communication or trust may have played a big role in how things fell apart. Now that's a pretty bold statement, right? But it's strange, especially when you think about how amazing he was as a player. Don't believe us? Let's take a closer look at his career and what made him so skilled. Drafted in 1978 by the Philadelphia 76ers with the 36th overall pick, Cheeks came into the league with high expectations, and he certainly lived up to them. Over his 15-year career, including 11 seasons with the 76ers, Cheeks made a name for himself as one of the most reliable point guards of his era. He wasn't just any point guard. Cheeks was a true floor general, helping lead the 76ers to the NBA Finals 3 times in 4 years during the early 1980s. His leadership on the court helped the 76ers capture the championship in 1983, their first in over 20 years. But it wasn't just about the big moments for Cheeks. His entire career with Philadelphia was a story of consistency and hard work. Cheeks was a 4-time NBA All-Star, and his playing style reflected his team-first mentality. He wasn't the flashiest player, but he did what was needed, scoring when necessary, creating opportunities for his teammates, and defending hard on the other end of the floor. His time in Philadelphia saw him playing alongside some of the greatest names in the sport, including Julius Erving, Moses Malone, Charles Barkley, and Andrew Toney. With those names in the mix, it's no surprise that the team made so many deep playoff runs. A standout aspect of Cheeks' game was his defense. From 1983 to 1986, he was named to 4 consecutive NBA All-Defensive teams, with a second-team selection in 1987. His defensive skills were instrumental in the 76ers' success, and he became known for his ability to steal the ball and disrupt opposing offenses. By the time he retired in 1993, Cheeks was among the league's all-time leaders in steals, sitting 5th in NBA history, and as of 2024, he remains 16th on the combined ABA-NBA list for total assists. He finished his playing days with averages of 11.7 points, 6.7 assists, and 2.1 steals per game, making him one of the most well-rounded point guards of his era. Cheeks' best years in the league came with the 76ers. At just 22, he became the starting point guard for the team, playing all 82 games in his second season and logging nearly 30 minutes per game. In 1982-83, Cheeks led the 76ers to one of their best ever records, a 65-17 finish, second only to the legendary 1966-67 team in franchise history. That season, Cheeks had a career year, averaging 12.5 points, 6.9 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. But it wasn't just about stats. It was about leading his team to the ultimate prize. The 76ers dominated in the playoffs, and Cheeks played a key role in their title run, earning his first and only championship ring. The 1986 postseason marked another peak for Cheeks, as he averaged a career-high 20.8 points per game in the playoffs. In the 1986-87 season, he hit a personal high of 15.6 points per game, but by this point, the 76ers were no longer the juggernaut they once were. Despite his individual success, the team failed to repeat its previous championship glory. In fact, they fell short in the first round of the 1987 playoffs and failed to make it the following year, marking the end of an era in Philadelphia. In 1989, after a 13-year stint with the 76ers, Cheeks was traded to the San Antonio Spurs. By this time, he was 33, and his best years were behind him, but he still had plenty to offer. In San Antonio, Cheeks played 50 games and started in most of them, averaging 10.9 points per game. However, his time with the Spurs was short-lived, as he was traded again, this time to the New York Knicks, in February 1990. With the Knicks, Cheeks finished out the 1990 season and helped them make the playoffs, but they were eliminated in the second round by the Detroit Pistons. Cheeks had one more stop in New York before things began winding down. The 1990-91 season saw him play in 76 games, though his numbers had dropped. He averaged just 7.8 points and 5.7 assists, and the Knicks were swept by the Chicago Bulls in the first round of the playoffs. In 1991, Cheeks was traded to the Atlanta Hawks, but his production continued to slip, and by the following season, his role was reduced significantly. After averaging just 4.6 points per game with the Hawks, Cheeks became an unrestricted free agent in the summer of 1992. At this point, Cheeks' time in the NBA was winding down. In the 1992-93 season, he joined the New Jersey Nets but struggled. His playing time diminished and his production dropped to career-low numbers. Cheeks only played 35 games for the Nets, averaging just 3.6 points per game, and the team was knocked out of the first round of the playoffs by the Cleveland Cavaliers. After that, Cheeks retired at 36 years old, having played 15 seasons in the NBA. Despite the later struggles in his career, Cheeks left a lasting mark on the game. He finished his career as the all-time leader in playoff steals at the time and had earned a reputation as one of the most unselfish and steady point guards the NBA had seen. Though Cheeks' playing days were over, his connection to the NBA didn't end. After retirement, he briefly coached for the Quad City Thunder in the Continental Basketball Association before joining the 76ers as an assistant coach in 1994. Over the next several years, Cheeks worked under several head coaches, including John Lucas, Johnny Davis, and Larry Brown. It was under Brown that Cheeks was an instrumental part of the 76ers' success, including their surprising run to the 2001 NBA Finals. In 2001, Cheeks was hired as head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. While he had success, making the playoffs in 2 of his 4 seasons, he couldn't get the team past the first round. In 2005, Cheeks was hired again by the 76ers, but things didn't go smoothly. Though he was initially popular due to his past with the team, frustrations grew as the 76ers failed to meet expectations. By 2007, the team was rebuilding, and Cheeks was faced with coaching a younger roster. The team finished the 2007-8 season strong, clinching a playoff berth, but they were eliminated in the first round. Cheeks' tenure as head coach of the 76ers came to an end in December 2008 after a disappointing start to the 2008-9 season. After his time in Philadelphia, Cheeks joined the Oklahoma City Thunder as an assistant coach in 2009 before moving to the Detroit Pistons as their head coach in 2013. Unfortunately, his time with the Pistons was brief, lasting less than a year before he was fired in February 2014 after the team failed to live up to expectations. Cheeks' coaching career then took him back to the Thunder, where he remained an assistant coach until 2015. In 2020, he joined the Chicago Bulls coaching staff, and just recently in 2024, he was hired by the New York Knicks as an assistant coach under head coach Tom Thibodeau. And that wraps it up. What do you all think? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.